It's Mark Husson's Astrology Hour. Time for you to expect something wonderful.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Mark Husson. This is Mark Husson's Astrology Hour coming to you live May 27th, 2024 at about 8:01 a.m. Pacific, 11:01 a.m. on the East Coast. How the heck are you? It's Memorial Day. I heard we weren't supposed to say Happy Memorial Day, but I do hope all your memories are happy and that you get a chance to love on the people that you love who may not be here anymore, even though I know this is a day about veterans and the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day, I looked it up, was one is to honor the dead and one is to honor all veterans, alive and dead. And Veterans Day is for that. Memorial Day is for the people who have died. So if you have family members who were in the service and have passed, take a minute with them. It's an amazing choice people make, even though some people, they didn't have a choice. So yeah, I have very special feelings about Memorial and Veterans Day because I do feel like our freedoms and our liberties are a part of that. So if you're celebrating in some way and also celebrating because it's spring and sort of Memorial Day is the christening of spring, unofficial christening of spring. I hope you're enjoying your day. And if you're off work today and you're listening to the show, oh my God, I'm so honored. Thank you so much. Also, if you'd like to join us, it's fun to kind of be in the chat room because, first of all, people who I tend to meet there are extraordinary. They're just so friendly, and I feel blessed by that. And so you go over to 12radio.com and click the word chat on the left-hand side, and you'll be brought over. And when you come, you'll see the banner up that Jay, my producer and friend and psychic advisor over at 12, has put up for us. And then I'm clicking comments in the bottom, and then I click again where it says top comments. I change it to all comments because God knows why it just doesn't default to all comments, thinking that we might want to see them. I'm sure it's because there's so many more people, way more popular, who probably have millions of people that they have to sort through. Lynn Goldberg's in the house. Yay. Happy Monday. Thank you, Lynn. Now, if someone could just bring me coffee in bed. I know, right? I know. And, you know, not only does John make the most insane cup of coffee, like it's an art and it takes a minute, because if he's not up yet and I have to make it, it's like, but he makes an insane cup of coffee and he always, you know, it's like there for me. And I have this heated cup. The heated cup is kind of badass, but yeah, I feel spoiled. Tara. This Capricorn is very flashy. Oh, good. We love flashy Capricorns. Capricorn needs some flash, right? If you guys, I'm a Cancer. So when the moon is in Capricorn, notice the different energies of the different shows. You'll hear an Aries show versus a Capricorn show versus the Cancer show. It's crazy. And I have no control over it. Yeah, a little bit maybe, but no, I don't like to think I do. Renee's in the house. Hi, Renee. Jackie Walsh. How are you? Welcome. Good to have you here. Roberta Ekstrom. Cheers to our veterans today. Love you and listening every week. You always kill it. Oh, she's so good. Thank you, Roberta. Mwah, back at ya. Linus, how you doing? Happy Memorial Day, Mark and Jay and the 12 tribe. Ali Shea. Morning to you all. Wishing all veterans and their families a blessed day. Thank you for your service. Happy to be with my cherished 12 tribe, Mark and Hay, this morning. And I think she means Jay, but Hay works. Hey, Terry Campbell, how you doing? Howdy, Mark, Jay, friends. Wow, Mark, these Cap Moon's brutal for this Gemini. So happy your show brings a lighter, happy breeze. It ain't over yet, Terry. But thank you so much. And thanks for the tips. Terry sent me some good old Gemini tips, phone tips that are kind of fun. It's a perfect time for Gemini. You know, as you watch this stuff, now, if you're on the mailing list at where you go to 12house.com to get on the mailing list. And I hope you will get on the mailing list because like I said, it's a way to measure our health, believe it or not. And you don't get inundated. I do everything. We're not corporate. We're never going to be corporate bot. So it's just me messing with Adobe Photoshop and my guilty pleasure of AI. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, but it's kind of crazy. And then if you go to 12listen and look at the background, that's done by me dictating what to draw. I mean, I'm so sorry, graphic designers. I promise never to do something I need for money to do it with AI. I will hire you, I promise. And maybe you can then dictate it into the AI. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm wishing you the best. And I'm just saying, you know, it came free with my Adobe Photoshop, so I'm using it. AI's here. I'm not going to just ignore it. I can't. And we'll work out the problems with it, right? That's what Gemini energy does. Okay, so anyway, where was I? As you look, go to 12house, get on the mailing list, and then let us know that, you know, it's sort of your version of support. That's all. It's only like 3 or 4 postcards a week that I send out, and I try to make them somewhat entertaining. But if you can do that, and to me, it sort of like lets us know that you're getting the power peak, that you're getting the charts I'm sending out. And that's why I mentioned it, because there is a chart included with my show announcement on Sundays. And this chart for Monday, it's hard to imagine if you had seen this chart on a baby, like if somebody said, oh, I was born May 27th, 2024, like in 20 years, and you run the chart and you see this, you'll be like, oh my gosh, there's so much concentration of planets in the chart. There's just concentrated energy. It's concentrated. And many of you have charts like that. In fact, it's kind of unusual to see a chart that we call splayed chart, which rhymes with sprayed, because it looks like you dipped your finger in water and sprayed the chart, and it sort of dots all over the place, right? A lot of you have a chart like that, and guess what? You have an energy like that. You probably do. Admit it. Come on. If you're all over the place, you probably have, if there's no connection, like if there's no trine or square connected to them, which, you know, we'll get into later. But anyway, so then you have a chart like this, where everything is concentrated, and it tells you right away there's a focus happening. There's a focus. There's a concentration. There's a laser beam of focus in a direction that this person has, and how they do it is going to be based on a lot of things, like, you know, nature versus nurture, right? How the environment was, what were they supported in? When you're born, we take a snapshot of the sky, right? We take a snapshot of the sky as a metaphor of kind of the energy that you imbue and that you have available to you. And if you're not the only person born in that moment in time around the whole world. There's going to be many other babies, and they are going to have different lives. Why? Because nature versus nurture. Environmental factors matter. If you're in a family where your moon and emotional expression is supported, then you're going to be supported. And your moon is going to grow, and you're going to feel like, oh, I feel this amazing support expressing myself. However, if you're in a family that doesn't like the moon, if you're in a family that doesn't like emotional expression, and you had to tamp down that moon a little bit, you're going to compensate. You're going to cover it up, because as you develop your sun, and you are going to compensate, but I want to first point out, as you develop the ego, this is my identity, this is who I am, and you have all these tools available to you, and you reach out for one and your hand gets slapped, well, you're going to reach for another one, right? You are, I promise. And we have, and we do. Sometimes it wasn't, believe this, sometimes it wasn't okay to be the pretty one in the family, because of somebody else's shadow, feeling that it was a threat. I know this from personal experience because my natural beauty was denied. No, I'm teasing. I just saw this image and it's funny. Okay. So we have access to all 10 of these amazing tools. And the metaphor of the chart as a metaphor shows us that they're there. And to be happy, right? If we want to be happy, we gotta, like, we can look at that and say, oh, I'm under expressing this part of my life. And you can work on that. That's the beauty of astrology. That's like the number one beauty of astrology, right? To see yourself and your potential laid out in front of you and realize, oh my God, I may have stepped on this trait of myself, or I don't even see this in myself. You know, if you don't see it, that there's a good chance that you projected it, like it became the shadow. You don't just go, oh, I'm owning my shadow. Shadows are scary. That's why we don't own them. Even if they're good shadows, like being the most beautiful. So you can use the chart to sort of see where your blind spots are. That's kind of very possible. And a good therapist and a good astrologer and somebody who understands you and sees you and can look at you objectively can help point those things out, but you can do it yourself. Like, not only to see where your shadow is, but to see where this natural expression in you comes in. Where's this little snarky part? Where's this critic coming from? And you can see where a critic comes from if you, I see mine all the time. In fact, I said to John the other day, what is this part that just rips it up? I'm telling you, rips it up. It's so many interesting stories and thoughts, but I had we had an interesting week, and we did our move, we did our transfer of rooms, so now I'm in a completely new place. The dogs have acclimated beautifully. God bless them. They are just adorably. They're so happy. These boys are so happy. I'd be happy too because we spoil the shit out of them. But either way, they are happy. And they sort of like they're sleeping the night through. It's fun waking up in a new environment, looking at a new ceiling. And I have this sort of like feeling that as the full moon hit, and we sort of wanted it to be around that there would be an emotional correlation. There would be a sinking in. And so that's happened. So a lot, but then the neighbors came over. They wanted to bring a little special thank you thought for watching their puppies for them. And it's anyway, this is all about noticing parts of yourself and noticing. I don't like to get too detailed because I don't know, I don't want to say too much because people could be listening and I don't want to embarrass people. But the idea is finding the chart to see the parts of us, what we do. And so it's not just to see the shadow, it's to put a definition to habits and the activities that we have. So if you have a strong critic, you probably have a lot of Scorpio, you probably have a lot of Virgo, probably have a lot of Aquarius. These are the signs that sort of like to complain about other things. Did you know that? You Aquarians knew that, didn't you? Yeah, all Aquarians know it for sure. Virgos know it absolutely, hands down. Taurus and Libra don't like to do that because why? They're Venus ruled. They have some Venus energy with them and it doesn't feel good to them. Like they don't like to they think it. There's no question. But they don't like to lay that stuff out. Gemini, on the other hand, and that's the cycle we're in now, they don't mind seeing the negative. In fact, they'll make it up. If they want to align with you, Geminis need to feel connected. This is where Gemini gets the rap for being the liar, at least by me, because they want to be connected. That's their motive. That's a very dear motive, right? I want to be connected to you. That's why, you can scare a Gemini by saying, let's not talk about it. I get a kick. When I say things like that, I have an image instantly of somebody I'm saying that to in my mind. Or have said that to and seen the reaction. And it's sort of like delicious when you're mad. It just feels so good. Because when you're mad at a Gemini and they go, come on, let's talk about it. No, I'd rather not, ever, as long as you're alive. Oh, okay. So, we get into this idea of the Geminis want to be connected, and yet so they'll align, they'll read you in a heartbeat. Like Geminis know how to read you instant fast, right? They're fast. They're fast about everything. It's Mercury. So, and this isn't, no slam to any particular Geminis. Honestly, it's in all of us, wherever our Gemini is, but this is a trait. You can tell they want to be connected. That's how they feel good. So if they read really quick, a more insecure Gemini might read that you're not liking this thing. They will go right on to, I don't like that anyway, but I knew it was da-da-da. And it's sort of like, so all of a sudden they're giving you all this great information that reinforces what you believe. But they're not necessarily true believers, right? They just have that ability to see the information and give it to you. They're more like Siri in that moment, or Alexa in that moment. They're just giving you the answer because they have access to a lot of information. And so that's a fun part about being a Gemini. Now, trust me, I have Venus in Gemini. I have the ability. I also have very dear Venus and Gemini people in my life. I somehow get it. I just get it. I get what they do. I understand it. And wherever your Venus is, you're probably saying the same thing about those people too. So the idea, so where I'm leading to is this idea of the chart, recognizing the chart and seeing what could be missing for you and what you could really have denied. Like if you've ever had a chart reading and just go, oh, that's not me at all. First of all, just know that everyone you've ever said that to wants to slap you. Who gives you a reading? Because we're sort of sure it is you, but you can't see it. That's why as things changed and evolved in the store, when we were doing readings, people would be like, can I bring a friend? And we're like, yes. A lot of places were like, no, you have to be a private, reading. It's like, yes, bring a friend. Because the friend is sitting there nodding, going, oh, that's them. That's them too. While we're going, no, that isn't me. So self-evaluation, as you all know, is the thing I think we're weakest at. We don't have I don't think we have an ability to really see, especially if we acknowledge there's a shadow and there's some denied access to what we have in ourselves. So if you ever looked at a chart and go, I just don't get this part of me, what an opportunity. What an opportunity to pretend you do get it, right? And then take a minute to kind of get into it a little deeper to see where that's showing up for you. Things like your north node, or even better, your south node. The thing that looks like an upside down U in your chart, you should be doing that in droves. And you should be fighting not doing it in droves as well. You should look at that skill. What is it? What are you doing with it? How are you expressing it? And why the hell do you have it so good in that area? Like, in other words, why are you so good at that? I can promise you it has a little bit to do with your childhood. A lot to do with your childhood. When people say past life, yeah, you come in with a propensity, I guess. But we could say past life, who the hell is going to call it wrong? So I like to do things more verifiable, because it's an easy cop-out to say, you brought that in from a past life. Yeah, well, I wish I'd have brought my good looks, too, from a past life, because I heard I look good. Still living that past life dream. All right, so now, and so your north node, your south node and north node are both very important to understand, get a little understanding of what you're accepting and denying in yourself. That's a good place to start. Check out your moon. And do two things with your moon. What sign is it in? And do you do it? Do you see it? Can you see what that means to have the moon? Because the moon is loud, people. Moon isn't this soft little mermaid, right? Moon is mean. Moon will slap you. if you don't give it what it needs. Hard. So look at your moon. Are you doing your moon? Do you have it? Is it working for you? And then look at the house the moon is in and see which number house it is. You start at 9 o'clock and you count counterclockwise. So the first house is 9, between the 8 and 9 o'clock position. The second house is between the 8 and 7 position, right? You go backwards like a piece of pie. Whatever house your moon is in, and it's also according to the zodiac. So the first house would be Aries, second house would be Taurus, third house. So if you have moon in the third, you have an honorary Gemini moon. If you have moon in the fourth, you have an honorary Cancer moon, regardless of what sign it's in. So you have 2 moons. Just play with that idea. 2 moons. 2 moons. Okay? Because you do. I used to make fun of this one particular moon, and John said, that's the house your moon's in, so you might have to deal with that. That's the other thing. Whenever you complain about a zodiac sign, you know you're complaining about yourself. You really are. Okay. So let me check and see if you guys have questions or how you're doing it, because I want to go over in a little bit of some of the events happening this week are kind of big deals. They really are. And I want to make sure that you're launching what you should be launching. I don't know what that is, but if you are, here it is. Okay, let me check it out here. Thank you. Anita Ahuja is in the house. Oh, wow. My goodness. Filled with gratitude for all we honor. Anita, welcome. Anita, if you don't know Anita, she's been with us a hell of a long time. And she's an extraordinary psychic, gifted therapist. She works with rape and domestic violence. She's just coveted. She just got back from Hawaii. So reach out to Anita, give her a hug. And if you need to chat with her. Carrie Lee, thank you. Erica Longden, God, my crew. I love you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. She's over in London. Good morning from across the pond. Wishing you a joyous Monday. We're on holiday too. Oh, Erica, that's so good to know. I love that when we share holidays. Thank you for joining us. Erica is Angel Hands Heal. She also is a sound therapist. She has sounds. Is it Sounds Like Erica? No, it's another one. Sound Healing. I should get it. It's on Thursday mornings, 8 a.m. You have to see her. It's 8:30, I think it is, a.m. Pacific. And forgive me, Erica, for not knowing the exact title, but she's been a sound healer forever. And if you heard her voice, you'll know why. You got to check her out. You guys, 12listen.com. You have to check these people out. I love that they're in the room. It's been a crazy week, Ali Shea says. My daughter, Ariana, has an emergency appendectomy surgery. Ugh. It burst. Oh my God. In the same week, her son's 14th birthday and his graduation. Wow. I hope she's okay, Ali Shea. I'm sure she is. She's in good hands. And your grandson sounds like that'd be a shocking graduation for him. Wow. When I was a little boy, this is the nature of my family. We were at a church gathering and tons of people filling the reception. And my mom trips on a stairs and breaks her ankle. Well, I'm young. I'm telling you, young. Pee my pants young. They rush her to the hospital and leave me at the church alone. And I am a wreck. Nobody knows what's going on. I'm a wreck. I am internal. I'm about to die. I asked people, do you know where my mom is? Like that. So I get it about and I'm a Cancer, and they take my mom away, and because now I think, when you say she broke her ankle to a kid that age, it's like meaning it's broken like a toy. So I'm thinking she's dead, and I'm a wreck. I'm pale. I peed my pants literally because I didn't realize I had to go to the bathroom so bad. So I run into the bathroom, and it was the ladies' room, and I couldn't get my pants unzipped. That's how little I was. I don't know. I'm at peace with all that, kinda, but I also was like, F you guys, leaving your kid behind over that thing. Like, nobody thought to go get Mark. Okay, whatever. But I was at a church gathering, even though there were hundreds of people and I knew none of them. My grandfather was the priest, so I guess somebody figured he's in the community. Made me think of that when I heard about your grandson, Alishaya. Okay, Terry, Alishaya, my goodness, blessings to your daughter. Hope she's receiving well. Exactly. Ditto from Terry. Becky, so glad to be here live. You're welcome. Thank you for being here yourself. It's so nice to have you. Truly, good morning, everybody. Happy to be here. I didn't know we were going to do this on Memorial Day. Yeah, well, there's no rest for the wicked. And I am wicked. There's no rest. Love, we all get to learn and laugh together, Mark. Lynn, I always want you in my learning center, where I'm learning with you. Maya, good morning. Happy Memorial Day. Back at you. Erica, Alexandra, good morning, Mark and Company. Happy Memorial Day too to you. Kay Dragon's in the house. Kay's an advisor at 1-2 Listen as well. She channels Merlin. She has a radio show on Thursdays with Maureen. I'm telling you, you guys, these people, we got to check them out. We want to support them. You want to hear them. It really is a good place to explore. Thank you, Terry, for saying that. Okay, you guys, let's talk a little bit about the week up and coming. Thank you for sharing. I'll come back in the room. I see some of you are still posting. I'll come back and we'll talk. So listen, I want you to get an image of this. The planets are reflecting what we're reflecting, where we are. They're reflecting us, okay? They're not separate from us. They're not beaming energy on us. I don't believe. That's my theory. But they're showing what energy we're accessing. They're reflecting it back. And so when I'm accessing my Gemini energy, I'm like reflecting this sort of now Gemini season. And every Gemini, when the sun hits my Venus, like I told you, I'm very likable. And so even though I'm being a curmudgeon, I can go into town and people just bring me things. This year, I'm going to get so set up. The universe is going to go, bap. Here's nice. Okay. But there is this energy of Venus and the sun in the air, and people who are Venus ruled, like all you Tauruses, Libras, people that were born with Venus next to the sun, people who are Geminis, who were born in the Gemini cycle, Venus is kind of bringing you a little sweet powder puff of energy. It's very fast, but it's very benevolent. It's very kind. It's very friendly. So we're all feeling this sort of friendliness in the air. I want you to see if you can do that. And now, trust me, there are stories. I know you're going to have something like, this isn't very friendly. Bap, whatever happened. And I'm so sorry for that. But there is a genuine ease of fixing things too. Whenever Venus comes into play and Gemini's in the issue and Gemini's part of it, there is an ease of fixing things, of getting the help you need, of being able to communicate it, of being able to express what you need and have somebody hear you and understand it. It's very friendly, and it's very people friendly. It's very communication friendly. The air signs, the thing about the air signs is they know how to be friendly. That's their whole thing. Connect with another. I mean, think about it. Libra wants to know how to find the good in you so you'll like them and they can be charming with you. Then they can leave you and crush you, but they don't have to look at that. It's very cool. And then you have Gemini, who can connect with anybody in the room. They talk, they have a good time, they're blah, blah, blah. And they know how to make you laugh and smile until their depressed other twin underbelly comes up, and then you just run, leave them for a while. And then lastly, you have Aquarius, who hates everybody, but loves them as a group. So Aquarius goes, I don't want you all to die or freeze to death. Here's some fire. I don't want you to be homeless. Just please don't knock on my door. And so they're all about the people, these air signs. They're all about the love and connection and harmony in their head. Anyway, okay, so we're doing the same thing. We're all about the connection. We're looking at these things through a brain that once understood like a connection. We understand it, and now we interpret it. Instead of feel it, instead of being in there rubbing elbows with it. We're interpreting it. And I want you to just be with that information I'm saying, because this cycle right now is very powerful. It's a good cycle to imagine something that you want and kind of see it happening, because Pluto in the sky is also in air. We're going to get the air. We're going to get the air. You know what I'm saying? If you're not an air sign, you're going to get the air. You water signs, you need to start getting comfortable with this. Okay? No longer you get to sort of smirk in the background and say, little do they know how much feeling goes on here. You don't get to do that anymore, because air signs are going to be here prominent, and you need to know how to navigate that. Okay? Because that's your opposite. Air is opposite water, not fire, air. I can promise you, because that's what each gets accused of. Air signs get accused of being the absence of water, cold, callous, unfeeling, right? Water signs get accused of being the absence of air. You're an idiot. You're just feeling, you're too emotional. What's that? You're not thinking it through. And so we're in opposite time. If you're a water sign, if you're predominantly water, and if you're predominantly air, you're in heaven, right? I always think of Robin Williams in the Baron von Munchausen movie, where he kept losing his head, and every time his head would separate, he'd go, "I'm free, I'm free." And that's how air signs see it. They like being free from the emotional attachments of the world. Okay, they love that. You know, when you're not needy, air signs are so happy. Like when a Libra compliments you, but you kind of want another compliment. The minute you want that other compliment, they're out. See ya. But it's fun to laugh at, right? Because it's true. Needy is not the new attraction, right? It doesn't necessarily make us pretty. And when you think you need something, when you absolutely think you need it, do you get how often we're denied it? When you think this would be so nice if they would just call me, and they never call, but then you don't give a shit and the phone rings instantly. It's like life is sort of telling us something, people. Okay, I digress so easily. But here's the thing. Pluto and Jupiter trine in the sky, meaning if you launch a business, if you launch something, if you start something new, including a relationship, there's a ton of success waiting for you. It's a sweet connection. There's a lot of power in it. There's a lot of support in it. And it's here for about a week. Okay, so it's Jupiter, Pluto, both in air signs, both at 1 degree. Pretty powerful. Something else is going on in the sky. Mars is next to Chiron. So I have something to say to you. I looked it up in the Magi book, my favorite book for like the soap opera version of astrology. We're like, ooh, what did the scientists have to say about that? The juicy scientists, not the like totally objective scientists. They said that when Mars and, wait a minute, let me make sure I'm on there. Mars and Chiron come together, and this is this week, you guys. This is like right now. It says, with matters of love, choose this aspect to make love. This is how they talk. Choose this aspect to make love, because this is one of the best times to do so. Like right now, I'm kind of not in the mood. Viagra, boy. Oh, okay. But if you do not want a pregnancy, you have to be especially careful and be absolutely certain to use effective contraception, because the conception rate is highest during this aspect, making it the number one fertility aspect. Who knew? On the other hand, if you have fertility problems and want a pregnancy, this is the best aspect under which to try to conceive. Y'all need to hit the sheets if you want a baby right now, or the in vitro fertilization center. All right. In matters of money, this is a helpful aspect for any business chart because it provides vitality. The aspect improves competitiveness and helps attract good employees. All right. So that's number one. That's pretty good. So that's an argument for why this week is good to start something. Silliness aside. No, let's keep it silly. I like it silly. Okay. The other thing I wanted to tell you was the Jupiter and Pluto. Since they're trining, this is called a golden aspect. Listen to this. In matters of love, if wealth or power are important to you, make certain you include this in your wedding chart. It will help you become successful as possible. Number two, in money matters, one of the best aspects to include in any business chart, especially when starting a new job, business, or corporation. I'm telling you, success is in the air, and we are ready to have it, right? So there's some good. See, when the signs leave the watery part where I was talking about music. Oh, I have to tell you a story about music. I was humming this song, Zooby Zooby Zoo. You know Zooby Zoo? It sounds like a rap song. It's a French song from Mad Men. I heard it first on Mad Men. Zooby Zooby Zoo. It's so cute. And I'm singing this all day. I'm like, why is that song in my head? And I've had, Alexa down, get it on my Spotify. We have to share a Spotify list someday once I get mine cleaned up, so I'm not embarrassed. But I have her play it, and then Spotify's like, "Oh, here's other French songs for you." So all day long, I'm in France, and Zooby Zoo is the one song. I just love that song. And I love the scene from Mad Men. It's like the perfect scene. It's like she's in the sort of mid-century modern home and it's his birthday and she does this little birthday gift for him, singing that song, dancing on his lap, and all the guests are like just envy's everywhere. In fact, one of the guests looks at her husband and goes, he looks at the wife and goes, "Why can't you dance like that?" And she said, "Why can't you look like him?" So it's a good moment in Mad Men. You can YouTube it. It's actually pretty cute. So I'm singing this song all day long. Don't know why. And the next week I'm doing it again. Like, this song is like haunting me, but watery that I am, and I'm trying to contrast water and air. I'm looking all over for like what the omen is. I'm looking up the words, what they mean, translating in French for Zoubisou, Zoubisou, I think. Zoubisou. And I'm looking it up. I can't find it. So finally, I'm downstairs in the morning. I try to make bread like every other day. And I got my loaves in. It's sourdough bread. Like, in case you all are new to the show, I've been making sourdough with the same starter that I created a year and a half ago. And it's still average bread, but I love it. I have such a good time. And now we're so addicted to it in terms of having it. And people who come over who know about the bread always want a loaf. So I try to just keep it up. Like, just keep making it. So all of a sudden I've got the stuff in the oven and the timer goes off, and the timer goes, do, 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 do. I'm like, what? Oh my God. It was the tune. And I realized I'm not just psychically picking this stuff up. They're throwing it at me and I'm grabbing it. And I wonder how often that happens in the world, where we're so manipulated, so easily manipulated. I wonder about that, in casinos, because, I love casinos. I love slot machines. I am very responsible because I have Jupiter in Virgo. So I'm moderately responsible, but I would never mortgage the house. I'm a Cancer, and I would never, spend more than I can make in 5 months. So anyway, I go and I wonder how they're manipulating us. It's so fascinating. Is it the smell? Is it the way this sort of teases me that it's going to hit the jackpot? And then I'll put another quarter in so I can, because I know it's going to hit. But do they know that? They know that, don't they? So you have to assume everybody is smarter than you. You have to get your egos out of the way and assume you're being watched. Assume you're being manipulated. Just assume it. So if you really want something to happen, it's like, okay, we want it to happen. I'm willing to, let you see me on this video because I want this jackpot or whatever. I don't know. So I thought that was a funny story, right? I'm humming a song thinking it's a big old omen. It reminds me of when that little girl ran into the store. She was like 4 years old and she runs in at one of our open houses and she's adorable. And I get on my knee. I know I've told this story before, but I get on my knees and I'm like, hi, little baby. How are you? She's so cute. And where's your mommy? And she turns around to point to where her mommy is and she hits somebody's knee. That's how little she was. And she starts crying. Well, mommy busts in and says, I knew this place had bad energy. And she picks up her daughter and leaves, right? And so in her reality, right, self-fulfilling prophecy that this is bad energy, I shouldn't let my daughter in here. And, she'll go thinking that for the rest of her life. So don't we kind of have to be careful? Like how we summarize the conclusions, we have to be a little willing to like unhook the flexibility, right? We have to be willing to sort of just a little bit unhook the what we believe to be true. And guess who is really good at that? Gemini. So we're in a cycle now with the Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and Gemini that and Mercury should be coming soon. We get a chance to unhook some of these belief systems because that's all we're doing. Right? We're just holding on a little bit tightly to some idea that we could have put together wrong. I'm thinking Zooby Zoo came to me as an omen from France. I'm supposed to be in the Olympics. I guess I was wrong, but at least now I know why. Okay, I'm going to hit refresh and check on y'all. Oh, Lordy B. Okay, I'm all commenting you. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Let me scroll down, find you where we left off. Horrible system, Facebook. Okay. Okay. I got you. Okay, there. Pam Allen. Jupiter just crossed my Mars. Hope I have made the best of it. It has been a good time. Well, if it's been a good time, you made the best of it. The fourth house Cancer Moon, this fourth house Cancer Moon, Audra is saying, is getting discharged from the hospital. Oh, while you're listening, Audra, I should have looked at that sooner. Thank you for being with me. I am with you. Yay. Get home. Get away from that place. And thank you, place, for taking care of her. I'm much healthy. Yeah, much healthy. Thanks, Terry. Tara, my moon is in Sag in the 9th. So maybe it's not my Capricorn sun that's flashy. Oh, girl, definitely you're Sag. That is so funny. I love it. It looks like you answered it yourself. That's so cute. Okay. Quelly, grand risings to Jay and Mark and 1-2 family. Happy blessed Memorial Day. Thank you, love. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate that you like my humor. Terry Campbell, God bless Robin. Saw him again in the Awakenings this weekend. Such a gifted soul. Robin Williams. How did I reference him? I know I did, didn't I, Terry? Oh my God. I'm so free streaming. Erica, so true. It seems the less attention you give a person, the more they want your energy. It's so true. Air, you go to grab air, it swirls all around you, right? But you walk away. What's that air do? It follows you, right? Think about it like that. Terry said, I'm absolutely hilarious. Thank you. Genuinely Gemini silly. Good to hear. I paid for my spot in the Summers Farmer Market. So hopefully, oh my God, Tara, it will be Tara. Sets the stage. I always have to double say your name because of my doggy was Tara. And I know you're probably Tara. Charlene, good morning, all. Love listening to you, Mark. Always learn something worthwhile with every broadcast. Thank you. Who knew I have an honorary Gemini moon in the 3rd? Yes, Charlene, I love that you picked that up. That's a good lesson to know. So my Venus in Aquarius, Alicia, in the 9th. Venus in Aquarius in the 9th. But I don't have any friends that are Aquarians. I only have a handful, in fact. Well, that's exactly how it should be. Aquarians don't want to be like in the big group. They want to be the special group. So yeah, you won't have a lot, but you don't have any friends that are Aquarians and you only have a handful of friends. I got it. But because in that situation, the Venus in Aquarius wants to be the rebel, right? So it's like you are the Aquarian in the group and you can't have too many. So yeah, it works a little differently, but I bet you love weird ideas, right? That's Venus in Aquarius. Love those different ideas. In fact, if it's not mainstream, if the world hasn't held on to it yet, Ali Shay is going to grab it. I can almost promise. Okay. My God, how time flies when you're having too much coffee. Hold on. You guys, I don't know what I would do without you. You change my mood so utterly, completely that it's delightful. So I want to thank you so much for coming. Keep in mind a couple things. Let's go over a couple of the moon things that are happening. The moon is about to hit Pluto today. Pay attention because Pluto moon is a little scorpionic. So if you get your feelings hurt or if you get a little deep or if you get a little OCD, remind yourself that the moon is on Pluto for a couple hours. It'll be off. It'll be fine. And then it goes into Aquarius. So you can rebel against everybody, flip everybody the bird, walk away, do whatever you want, or walk into crowds you didn't even think you'd walk into. Just do something rebellious. You'll love it. I promise. And then the week is kind of like, if you haven't checked out the Power Peak, CA did an extraordinary job on the Power Peak. MarkHusson.com. The password this week you have to get by signing up. No, I'm teasing. Let me see. What is the password this week? It's June. All lowercase. I'm only telling you because I care about you. And I do want you to sign up and send a friend. We want to get the numbers on the mailing list up. Like I said, it's a way of showing health. It lets me know how you all are doing feedback wise. And so that's pretty much it on that. So this week, go check it out. Make sure you can do it on your app, on your phone. One to Listen is going through great expansion and great changes. I'm so proud of this team. And so we're going to come up with new and inventive ways to encourage you to come and talk and be a part of our family. I can't believe we're still together. I love this stuff. One thing I told friends when we first had the store and somebody opened up a New Age store right next door and sold our incense, same thing. I said, we will always outlast them. It's just what I do. And I'm grateful for my Scorpio for that reason. It's sort of like OCD to the max. It's not OCD. It's sort of like fixity to the max. Like I just like what I do and I'm comfortable. I don't need to travel. We have I just watched Dune 2. I got to watch it again because it was so good. I have a partner who shares my interests. How lucky am I? I mean, seriously. And I have you. I can die today. It's okay. Knock wood. Let's hope I don't, but I could. Okay, you guys, listen. A beautiful Memorial Day to you. A beautiful week lies ahead for you. I am going to be here same time next week. I don't know if Christina LaFrance is going to be live after me. We'll see. I haven't heard. So if not, you can still listen to a replay. Lori Loves after that. Jamie Don. And we have a new surprise host coming in about a week on the same time on Mondays. Mondays just got gigantic. Okay, I'm going to check one last time to see if there's anything y'all need me to see before I say goodbye. Don't rush your computer. There's always next week. Let me see. I think you're good, but I have to make sure. I have to hit the comments thing. Then I have to hit all comments. Then I have to scroll down. There we go. Yeah. Hi, Mark. Julie Miller. I got you. A little late to the party, but I'm on and happy to listen and walk in San Diego for a week. Oh, a beautiful place to be, right? I've been to like 4 places in my entire life, and San Diego was one where I got to do the I Can Do It thing, where Hay House ignored me and left me in my room, and I didn't know if I could eat. It was cute. But thank you. Enjoy. I love San Diego. I don't ever like to portray myself as a victim because I never feel like one. Chris Diana, Libra Moon in the 10th, tyrannical. That was hilarious. It's true. Okay, Lynn Goldberg, you make mine, Lynn. Thank you. Renee, have a wonderful week yourself. You rock too, girl. Thank you. Thank you all so much. This is Mark Husson. This is Mark Husson's Astrology Hour. You guys have a gorgeous week. Stay in touch. Get on the mailing list. It's one way I have to reach out to you. Take care of your butts. Take care.